Hello and welcome to a time special presentation for Thirukkural with the Times, where we explore real-world lessons from the classic Tamil text Thirukkural with motivational speaker, author and diversity champion Bharathi Baskar as she explores the masterpiece. Anger can ruin lives, one's own as well as all of those people around. But is anger as uncontrollable as it's made out to be? The grouchy do not dare to flare up at those in power, and their anger find easy targets: the defenseless, the dependent, the ones who cannot fight back. Thiruvalluvar has some surprisingly new age insights on this subject.
A year ago, I was invited to speak at a prison. Before the program, I was conversing with the middle-aged jailer who believed that many criminals outside prison had committed graver sins than those inside. He gestured towards a frail young man fixing his laptop. "Can you believe he committed a crime?" he asked me. The man looked like any techie in a corporate office, small built, inquisitive eyes, neatly dressed. "Oh, I thought he worked here," I stated, surprised. "In some cases, under trials are allowed to wear their own clothes," the jailer explained. "This man will get the bail soon, even though he committed a murder." I swallowed my shock. The jailer called him over, and though I wasn't afraid, I was unprepared to meet a man accused of such a crime. The young man introduced himself as an engineer who was a team leader in a tech firm. Work was demanding, but life was good until that fateful night. My wife and my mother never got along well. My wife resented my mother's visits. That night I returned home exhausted, stressed and hungry. My wife was furious because I had agreed to pick up my mother from the station the next morning without consulting her. She raised her voice. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't stop. Something snapped inside me. Blood rushed to my head. I leaped at her like an animal, slapped her hard, and banged her head against the wall. She collapsed. Her eyes, frozen in disbelief, haunt me even now. Yes, she was dead. A minute's rage shattered my life. My child is in her grandparents' custody and I may never see her again. I will get the bail, but what is there for me outside? I don't know who took over me in that moment. It wasn't me who did that. Someone else rose from within and did that. He returned back to his work, a man forever burdened by his own question: who was that stranger within him? Life offers us endless supply of provocations. The impatient honk behind us at a red light, the maid taking leave on an important day, the call center person putting us on hold endlessly, a sibling wearing the outfit we had planned for, an overlooked promotion. These are sparks that ignite our tempers. But for some, anger is not a flicker, it is an inferno. Even though anger is listed as one amongst the deadliest sins, for generations, some men wore their tempers like a badge of masculinity. A Tamil adage proclaims, "The hand that strikes is the hand that embraces." These are extensions of the myths about anger, that it helps one succeed and inspires respect. The supreme hand of the caregiver can hit the vulnerable under their care. Why? Because it's natural for the all-powerful to be short-tempered. The reality is different. A short-tempered person may be tolerated but never loved. More importantly, the grouchy personalities are the ones who are affected more by the rage than the person at the receiving end. Bad-tempered people are a menace to themselves and to those who endure the wrath. Anger is not just an emotion, it is a storm that ravages the body. cortisol levels surge, pulse races, blood pressure spikes, pupils dilate, sweat pours out. Once, this response helped our ancestors fend off wild animals, but today it fuels tragedies. A husband striking his wife over a trivial quarrel, a father lashing out at his child, a moment of fury obliterating lifetime of love. Science corroborates what wisdom has long warned. Those who explode are 25% more likely to develop coronary heart diseases. The angriest are the most vulnerable to heart attacks. Still, people take pride in ruling their tiny worlds with the assumed authority their anger gives them. It's equally interesting that even the most hot-headed individuals control their tempers before their superiors. They dare not flare up at those in power. Instead, their anger finds easy targets: the defenseless, the dependents, the ones who cannot fight back. The vulnerable become dumping grounds for bottled up rage: children, spouses, aging parents, etc. Thiruvalluvar devoted an entire chapter to anger. He posed a question to those who claim to have tamed their fury. Chellidaththu Kaappaan, Sinangaappaan, Allidaththu Kakkinen, Kaavakaal. If you claim you are managing your anger, restrain it to those who cannot resist you. If you boast of suppressing it with the powerful, how does it matter? Before we pride ourselves on self-control, let us ask ourselves, does our restraint extend to those who depend on us, or do we unleash our wrath on them because we can? For anger, like fire, first consumes the hand that holds it.